Well. How is everybody out there today? I think you should be hearing me fine. The day after the election. Oh, thank you, Jesus, it's over. And you wouldn't believe it. I still got a text message from somebody still running for office, wants more money from me. I'm like, oh, please make it stop. I've had, what have I had? Thousands of phone numbers calling me, trying to get me to donate money to this campaign, to that campaign, not necessarily all Donald Trump, but a lot. And I'm like, hey, we're done. I got to rest. The stress was killing me, but I'm alive and well. Everything's good here. So tonight, I thought about getting a guest or something like that, and then I said, you know what? Let's just play radio. Let's have some fun with ham radio, and talk about different things. Something I posted on my Facebook page is my brother-in-law sent me this today. This doesn't look like much. You can't make out this picture. It's Skylab with a Apollo capsule and service module docked with it. And if you notice the date on here, July 28th, 1973. Now, I believe this may have been just a special event station sponsored by the Space Center Amateur Radio Society. That's what it says on the banner across the top. You see that? However, this was from 1973. It was actually 2 days before I got hired by Verizon. I got hired by Verizon in 1973 on July 31st, and this is July 28th. So my brother-in-law's dad was a ham operator. His call sign was WA2MXT. So Whiskey Alpha 2, Mike X-Ray Tango. That was Ed's call sign. It's not listed anywhere anymore, but this was sent to him by the Space Center Amateur Radio Society. So, of course, me being such a geek when it comes to satellites, I right away got in touch with Frank Bauer, and I took a picture of this and I sent it to him. He thinks he says they never had a ham radio on Skylab 2, so it was not a QSO contact with an astronaut. It may have been a QSO contact with the Kennedy Space Center Amateur Radio Society, or known as the Space Center Amateur Radio Society. What intrigued me were the names of the astronauts that were launched on July 28th, 1973. Alan Bean, who was one of the astronauts who walked on the moon, one of the 12 men that walked on the moon. Jack R. Losima, I don't know who that is. That doesn't ring a bell. But the last name blew my mind. And I don't know if it's a misspelled word. Earlier this year, I met Richard Garriott, the second, actually, he was the son of the man who made the first ham radio contact from space, which was on the shuttle. And this, I believe, was his father was named Owen. This may be his dad. It's right here. See, Owen K. Garrier. That's not how you spell his name, but how many Owen K's you got? So Frank's going to check that out for me. Frank Bauer from Amateur Radio on the International Space Station. He's been such a good asset to have. He so promotes ham radio on the International Space Station now, and he's working on getting ham radio on more space stations as they go up, as well as having more satellites, more CubeSats, stuff like that we can make contacts on. Crossband repeat wise. So that's an interesting thing to me. I had my hands on this and I'm looking at it. Now, that wasn't all he sent me. I'm hoping my friend Ziggy comes around. If he doesn't, I'll send this. I sent him a picture of this. This is a Telrex stacking schematic to illustrate phasing of two antennas for additional gain of 3 dB. I don't know how old this piece of paper is, but it's from Telrex Labs in Asbury Park, New Jersey. This is their design for a stacked dipole antenna. And on the back are all the measurements for your leads and what you want to, how far they got to be apart and stuff like that. And, let's see. We got somebody, Frank Skinner's on here. Hey, Frank. What do you got, Frank? Yes, it was him. He was on Skylab before the shuttle. Of course, when he was on Skylab, he did not have permission to use ham radio. That's absolutely right, Frank, because I talked to Frank Bauer and he explained to me they put in a request to put a ham radio on Skylab and they were denied. So they never got to put a ham radio on Skylab. But yes, Owen did go on that. Later on, he flew in the shuttle, and I believe that's where he made the first ham radio contact was from the space shuttle. You got to remember, back then, um, the hardest thing you can do on a spacecraft is breach the wall. Um, if you to get an antenna on the outside of the shuttle, you needed to put a hole in the wall to get a wire through it. And it ain't like your house, because outside is a vacuum, and inside you're trying to keep 14 pounds per square inch or thereabout to maintain life inside the spacecraft. So to put a hole through the wall is really tough. And back then they had no way to do it. As a matter of fact, the first radio on the shuttle, and I've showed this picture before, I don't have it with me right now, is an antenna they made to fit into the window. It just stuck in the window, and the antenna was against the glass, so they could transmit that way back to Earth. And they did that with an HT, with a Motorola HT they had, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, you're right, Frank. Frank Bauer did tell me that they did not have a radio on Skylab 2, so that explains it. But I guess Owen went on that flight also, as well as later on doing everything else. Our buddy Don's here, amateur radio with W8CPT, Captain Don. Good to have you here. And we got Iman here. He's saying hi to Don. We got Frank here. All right, so that was some of the stuff. You might find this interesting. See, my brother-in-law's dad got his ham license, I think, in 55 and earlier, because there are some QSO cards here. This is, I think, the oldest. This one, they totally spelled his name wrong too on there. His last name is Trinkleback. I guess they don't know how to spell it. But this was Lavandi Antiqua. This was from Colombia. Look at how nice they made this QSO card. There's the front, there's the back. But wait, folks, there's more. Look at this. It opens up, and it has pictures of the building and the ham setup that they used to make the QSO. That's a great idea, having a foldable QSO card. And you can see it just got a 2-cent stamp on the outside here, but he mailed this from Colombia to my brother-in-law's dad. So that's pretty cool. Also came across this. This was in there. He sent me a bunch of these things. He's gone through his dad's stuff like 12 years ago, put it in boxes and stored it. And he was digging through it. He said, "Yeah, you might be interested in some of this." I said, "Well, maybe I will. Let me take a look at it." This is a Cushcraft. I guess it was a flyer they gave out to advertise their 2-meter antennas for FM. And look at the cool setup. I could use that one. I could use satellites. Put a rotor on it. We'll be able to use for satellites. Here's some directional Yagis that they sell. This one I thought was interesting. This is very, very similar to the R9 antenna I had. But my R9 antenna was a multi-band antenna. This is a 2-meter antenna. So that's an old ad from Cushcraft. No prices involved. Then there was a bunch of other QSO cards, and I thought that was really cool. This is from, where was this? Wow. It's all in Italian. I can't read it. From Tome Virgilio. W82 MXT was my brother-in-law's dad. And there's his card. I believe that's an Italian station with the I. I don't know. Here's another one. This comes to him in French. I mean Spanish. You could see Senor Ed, right? That's Senor Don to Edward. And this is from, what year was this? He sent it to him in Bogota, March 16th, 1935. Even has a handwritten signature on it right there. From 1935. Then you thought the Earth started when you were born. Here's one from France. And you can see they're pretty plain. They're just plain old postcards. Nothing fancy. Today we do everything electronically and all that. But It's nice to have these, and they smell moldy, which means they've been stored for many, many years. This one is from 1967, a French station, 28th. Oh no, that was 28 megahertz. He was on 10 meters. I'm looking for the date. I love looking at this stuff because it shows you what was around long before you and I were here. You didn't put is the date on here? It's on 28 megahertz. It was 1967. Oh, it looks like May 3rd, 1967 is what this one is from. Pretty plain. This one's really special. This is really nice. This is a this is the ship is called the Governor Cobb from the Republic of Cuba. This is from 1935, before Castro, before the communists took over Cuba. Cuba was a resort. It was the place to be. That was the place to go. If you ever saw the movie Guys and Dolls, Marlon Brando takes the girl that he wants to date on a trip to Cuba, like for drinks, from Florida, which is pretty cool. But there's the picture of the ship. That is damn cool. And this is from before Cuba was a communist country. That pretty? Castillo del Morro. Yeah, Castillo del Morro. And this was mailed to him when he lived in Bogota, New Jersey, from 1935. Pretty cool, huh? So I got all kinds of things here. What's this one? This is a whole dissertation this guy wrote to him. And this is from Calbuco, Punta Gorda, Calbuco. And it is the Porto Mount Canal. Right there. Pretty cool. And he wrote this whole thing on the back. I'll read you what it says. It says, this is Porto Mont, 90,000 people, main southern, I can't read it. It looks like Chilean commercial seaport and well known by tourists for its fine oysters. Oh, want to go get oysters? We'll find where this place is. Go get oysters. Anyway, cute stuff, right? I love these. These are, it really, the bane of man is that he repeats his history because he doesn't remember. I stole that from Merlin the Magician in the movie Excalibur. Here's something cool, too, that he sent me. This is a Johnson Messenger operating manual. Anybody got a Johnson Messenger radio? What I love, I was flipping through this, and what blew my mind is, you want to have some ham fun, get your wife and your kid to be ham radio operators. There you go. How about them apples? But wait, sex sells, right? I got to show you this other picture in here. There's all kinds of stuff, but this other picture caught my eye, and I said, isn't that amazing? Yeah, here it is. Hot chick sitting in the front seat of her car getting ready to make a call on her radio. How about them apples? Look at that hair and a mini skirt. Whoo, baby. This was from, what year is this? Printed in the United States. I'll look it up. But yeah, this is like going through your grandfather's basement, right? And finding all this stuff. Oh, and then here's the warranty. Within 1 year of purchase, the E.F. Johnson Company will provide the parts and labor to repair your Johnson equipment. You can call me Johnny or you can call me Mike, but you ain't got to call me Johnson. Yeah. Wow. For a year, they'll fix your Johnson. Johnson equipment, if it is defective in material or workmanship, just return the unit. Authorized Johnson Service Center in the United States, which is in Waseca, Minnesota. I was trying to see if they had a date on here. Oh, this probably sometime in the 60s, I'm guessing. That was cool. And then this was somebody's ham radio station. I don't know if this was Ed's, but this is a nice 8x10 of an old radio station. Look at all the QSO cards on the wall over here. Isn't that cool? W1AW. Wow, they got them on there too. Pretty cool, right? Now, here's something this might be worth money. How many people like Heathkit? What if you had a Heathkit radio, you bought it at a garage sale or something, or at a flea market, and you didn't know how to use it, or you didn't know how to operate it? Well, if you have the model HD11, here's your owner's manual. How to build it. If you don't know what Heathkit was a company that made a lot of ham radio stuff. And but they built kits. So you would buy the stuff, they would give you everything you needed. You build it yourself. And that's what this book is about. I'm sure there's a few tubes in this radio that they're showing, but look at how detailed this is. Shows you the sine wave, shows you where everything is. There's also a big chart here. Let me see if I can open that up without ripping it. It's old. This is very old. Yeah, look. Here's the schematic. Right here. All right. My phone's, somebody's texting me. Let me see what they want. Oh, okay. Alan can't come. He's got the kids. But I showed him the antenna. I sent him the schematic for that antenna. He says, that's for somebody that has a lot of time to waste to build it, because you could buy them and tune them perfectly online now. Anyway, here you go. That's just, this is the Heathkit book. And this is really cool. What do we got here? We got another piece of paper in here. What is this? This is, oh, it's a warning. This is from August 16th, 1963. Before starting assembly of your HD11 multiplier, locate the 100 microfarad tuning capacitor and compare it with the drawing below. If it has the trimmer, look, this was like a supplemental thing they added in, because I guess you got to change something on the tuning capacitor. Interesting stuff though, right? Anyway, so that is the stuff I got from my brother-in-law, and I'm very grateful to him for that. And Ziggy doesn't want to build the antenna, and that's okay. But I'm still doing investigating on what this certificate is. If this was just a special event station down at the Cape to commemorate Skylab 2, that's great, from 1973. So we'll work on that, and we'll see what we can come up. What time is it? Oh, baby. Yeah, I don't want to keep talking. We got places to go, people to see. Actually, we have SO50 is going to come up at 6:32, so we might jump on and do a satellite contact. I am also, while I'm doing this, thanks, Iman. God bless the USA. You're right. I agree. And who's the chick in there? Is that Katie? Who is that? Who's your icon? Your icon. KG2MM came to the game. How you doing, Mike? Good to have you here. Iman is thanking us all for voting in Trump. You want to get excited? There you go. There, this is for Iman, Mr. DJT himself. Woohoo! It's a MAGA hat. All right, I'm not gonna wear it. Not right now. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, we're gonna have a satellite pass at 6:32, which is probably about 10 minutes away or so, and we'll get on there. And yeah, it is awesome stuff, man. I love seeing old stuff. I don't want to necessarily buy an old radio or an old Heathkit. If anybody has a Heathkit MD11 and needs the manual, I got it. Tell them get in touch with me. My brother-in-law Ed told me if I find anybody that needs any of this stuff or would like to have it, it's okay for me to give it to them, or you know, I'll give it to you, and this way it gets worked up. Oh, it's Katie. I thought it was Kaylee. I thought it was her. I couldn't tell. So tiny on the screen. All right. So I'm going to jump over right now. We're going to jump over to the FT8 screen. And while I'm going to just, where am I? I'm on 10 meters. I posted some pictures on Facebook showing where I'm getting during the gray line. If you're not familiar with what the gray line is, I can explain it to you pretty simply. What happens is, if you know anything, and if you took your technician's test, or if you don't, in your country, if you don't have to take a technician's test, but you learn about the layers of the atmosphere. The layers of the atmosphere there's 4 of them. At night, when the sun goes down, the top 2 and the bottom 2 merge like this. So what happens is, before they merge completely, they're slightly connected. They're not completely. So if it's not totally dark out, the layers might not have merged all the way. Well, what does that mean? That means that you could follow that shadow of the Earth. Listen to what I'm saying. You could follow that shadow of the Earth. I'm going to show you a picture now. We'll go to the SAT screen and you'll be able to see it. This is the picture I'm talking about. This was 43 minutes ago I posted this. So that was at like 5:45. So anyway, notice where my lines are going, where most of them are going. Over here. See this? They're following the shadow of the Earth. This is a representation of where dawn and sunset are. By me, it was sunset. By Japan, it was dawn. And if you look at my logbook, notice the Japan, Italy. This is all like close to that time. I was able to travel along that line and get to these other countries because the propagation through the shadow or through the layers was in such a way that I could get my signal to travel around the gray line. So whenever you see me posting anything about this is me riding the gray line, that's what I'm talking about, right? This is from Grid Tracker. Let me show you another picture I put up. Must be the other direction. Yeah, here it goes. This is from this page. This is where you can. This is called. What is this called? Come on, Mike. PSK Reporter. All right. So this is from PSK Reporter. You could see. Look at where all my contacts are, along where the gray line was. See, and then over here is Japan. Pretty cool, huh? So if you want to get DX contacts, now this is 10 meters. 10 meters is wide open. I was able to go all the way to Japan a couple of times, and the other direction I got to Italy. And this morning I got a bunch of Italy stations because when it's sunset or sunrise here, wherever the other side of the gray line is, I could get to that area. So that's what it means to travel the gray line. What should we do next? Let's see. Let's check out the SAT. I got SO50 selected, so we'll hear a chirp when it's ready to come up. It tells me we got 10 minutes before it rises. Anybody got any questions? Anybody, anywhere? Gray line propagation. I follow it on single sideband voice a lot. Yes, it works on single sideband voice. Very good. It does. And then, oh, Iman's not going to live. For 4 years, we're going to have to listen to him tell us how great his call sign is. I love it. Hey, Roger, how you doing? Any news about the recent AMSAC conference? No, I didn't go. I talked to my buddy David, the guy I got the antenna from, and he went, but I haven't talked to him in detail about it or how it went or what was going on. I was not able to make it. I had things going on, and yeah, it was sorry. I wish I could have. If I had unlimited funds, I would have jumped in my car and drove over to Tampa in a minute. But no, I didn't do anything, Roger. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't get that. But I'll tell you this, it probably was very similar to the event I went to at the Kennedy Space Center back in February or March, it was. And because Frank Bauer was there, you were able to watch a lot of it online. They streamed a lot of the speakers and stuff, so you were able to watch it. I hope you got to see some of it. I don't know if it's anywhere on the internet where you can go watch it now. That would be something fun to find out, huh? All right, so I have to make some adjustments here. So we're ready for the satellite pass. If you look at, yeah, my camera doesn't look right. Let me fix that. All right, that should be all right. I'm going to turn the light on the antenna. You see in the bottom right there, the antenna? Notice something different? I should just switch the antenna so you can see it. See what I did? There's now 3 antennas on here. I'm having an issue though. And this happened to me on, I think it was on, well, we were on SO50 this morning. I'm calling CQ, or I'm just saying KO4PDI Echo Lima 99. I'm not hearing myself. But then all of a sudden, people talk back to me, and I heard them perfectly fine. And I'm like, all right, so it's not my 70 centimeter antenna that's messed up. And when I transmit off the 2 meter, and I thought for a second, and I said, wait a minute. This radio is really good at filtering out harmonics and stuff. And what's probably happening, because I changed the distance between the antennas, that the third harmonic of my 2 meter signal is desensing my receive. So when I take my foot off the transmit, I can hear people talking back to me, but when I transmit it, it desenses and I can't hear me. So I'm going to have to move that 70 centimeter antenna, the short one, further out on the cross arm. Maybe move the whole cross arm to the left a little bit, not sure. But I put on the long antenna. If you notice, the short 70 centimeter antenna is vertically polarized, and the long 70 centimeter antenna is horizontally polarized. I really want to get this to work because I would love to attempt EME with that longer antenna. I was supposed to go to the Melbourne Ham Festival Saturday, and I ended up not going. I didn't hear any fantastic stuff about it, but I didn't make it because I wasn't feeling good. I had an issue with my blood sugar. However, hey, TJ, my buddy, my newbie, TJ came by my house the other day, and I showed him a bunch of stuff. Oh no, Don had a problem. His TYT UV390 HT for satellite took a dump, waiting for a new one. There's no way you can fix it. You can't reflash it and see what happens. You know what I would try? Did you send it back already, Don? Talk to TO. There might be a way you can fix that, because TO had mentioned in some radio he was working on, he did a video where he did an upgrade and he bricked it. So that might be what happened to you. There might be a way to fix it through key presses or something like that. So get in touch with TO. That's KM9G. You know, KM9G, Steve, that guy, which I'm going to get on his stream in a little while when I get off of here. So yeah, talk to him and maybe he can help you out with that. So anyway, there's the tower cam. You can see the extra antenna on there now. We're going to try to make a couple of contacts live, which is always dangerous because if I screw up, everybody sees me screw up. I don't like to screw up. Big shout out to my buddy Tank Radio, Frank. I got my Tank Radio coffee mugs from him. They're limited editions, so I got those. Had coffee in it the other day. It was very nice. Time to go is 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes we got till it rises. Oh, that's what I want to do. I want to adjust the radio camera because for some reason OBS doesn't save my settings, and I have to constantly come in here and turn off the backlighter and turn up the contrast. And then it looks good. Now it looks good. There you go. All right, so now you can see the numbers. You can see the waterfall. We're going to try SO50. That's the one we're waiting for. 4 minutes to go, and we'll have that. We'll have SO50 up here. So what have you been doing with your radios? The display ribbon might be better. Well, that's not a software thing. That's definitely hardware. TJ saying I got some nice toys. Thanks, TJ. Yeah, he came by yesterday, and it was yesterday, day before, Monday. And we looked around. I showed him my antennas and tower, and he's a new guy. He wants to get into a lot of different things, just like the rest of us. He just got his general, so now he can get on HF. I showed him how to use Ham Radio Deluxe on a couple of things. That's what I use. I've done videos on Ham Radio Deluxe with Mike from that company. at the Hamcation Hamcation last year, and maybe I'll get him on someday live, and we'll do something streaming live, and he can show us what he's doing. I'm really bummed that they're having issues getting the thing upgraded. They're trying to get it to the point where when you use it, what you see on the screen in the rig control looks like your radio. So if you look at, we'll switch over to the FT8 right now. This is the rig control over here. It doesn't look like any radio, right? But you have all the buttons and stuff that you can adjust. That you can change bands. I could change the frequency just by clicking on the numbers. We're on 10 meters right now, and that connects with WSJTX, which is over here, and this is the waterfall from WSJTX. Notice 10 meters just died. There's absolutely nothing on the waterfall. Maybe we should try another band, huh? Let's just go to 20 meters and see the difference. We'll switch over. Now notice when I clicked here, the radio changed to 20 meters for FT8. That's what I like about Ham Radio Deluxe. You can tie everything together. Look at the waterfall starting to fill up right now. Holy mackerel. And there's all the numbers coming up. These are all the call signs over here that are coming up. This is coming from Grid Tracker. Grid Tracker is where I showed you that picture of me following the gray line. All right, you guys don't want to hear me babble. So let's see what we can come up with. We got 1 minute. All right, let's get the headphones on. Turn up the volume on the radio and see if we can make some contacts. And let's switch over to the satellite page. There you go. All right, you will see the antenna will turn. Actually, it already has. It's already pointing in the direction of the satellite. So it already started without me, but that's okay. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Just verifying my mic works before the satellite gets here. Let's turn the power down to 50%. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop FT8 so it doesn't cause any interference on this pass. So since I'm sitting comfortably at a desk, what I do is I start taking down call signs as soon as I can hear them. And what I'm going to turn off the pre. All right, Don's trying to get this one too. 15 degrees he's trying. 15 degrees is the highest he's going to be in 1 minute. And right now it's at 5 degrees. There goes the chirp. It's just about to rise by me. Now, SO50 has a little quirk that shuts off after 10 minutes. So if it's ever coming over you, it comes over the ocean and then passes over you, chances are you might not get anything when you key the mic. That's why you need a PL tone or a CTCSS tone of 74.4. So what's nice about the 9700 and using the SatBox, I can click on 74.4, key the mic for 2 seconds, and I did 5 seconds, then go back to 67. That 74.4 will turn the repeater back on. I'm hearing people in there now. Yeah, the white noise fluctuating. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Yeah, man, I see that. It's talking about the interface with Ham Radio Deluxe. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. There are reports this satellite has been active today. I'm going to hit it with the 74.4 again, just in case. Then we go back to 67 for the tone. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India. Let's try boosting the power to 75%. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Let's try 100%. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Nothing yet. Let's keep listening. Listen, listen, listen. Always listen first. Wait till you hear something. There you go. I'm seeing something on the waterfall now. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Hey Andy, welcome aboard, man. Glad you can make it. I see you. You mind saying hi to you? Welcome aboard, Andy. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Notice you're not hearing my voice come back, and you're not seeing it, but you're seeing interference when I key the mic. That's not the way it's supposed to be. We got an issue. I got the preamp shut off, so I know that's not causing it. I got the preamp on, the preamp's off completely. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Not getting it. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. I just barely heard a couple of people and then nothing. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. This is an FM repeater. Can you still hear me with the sound from the radio? We're on, Andy, we are on SO50 right now. Sierra Oscar 50. Kilo Oscar 4. I believe I got an issue with my 2-meter antenna, possibly. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Notice you're not hearing my voice come back, but you're seeing the interference on the screen when I talk. It's telling me something's wrong with 2-meter antenna. You got to take that sucker down tomorrow. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Alright, we're getting a little higher in the sky now, 29 degrees. KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99. KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99. Really having a hard time making anything out. I'm surprised. Let's switch 70 centimeter antennas and go over to the wrong one. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Still not hearing myself come back. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99. Nothing. KO4 PDI, Echo Lima All right, I'm not even going to keep going. No sense you got to listen to that white noise. All right, Don, take care, man. What are you going to get on the ISS pass in an hour? Well, about a half hour. We got the ISS pass coming up. It's possible. Let's switch over to here. Yeah. By the way, did my geochron die? No. Why is the background completely black? That's weird. I'll have to check that out. Geochron. There you go. Now it's back. All right. Take care, Don. Thanks for coming. Listen, you guys, you got any questions about anything? About the QSO cards I showed you, about working satellites, anything like that? Come on, give me a question. I'm ready. This is what Iman wrote, Mike India 7. Are you really part of MI7? Or are you Donald J. Trump? I don't know. I haven't figured it out. But anyway, he likes the idea of a unified interface in the radio apps, like with rig control. It makes using different radios easier. The layout remains the same. Yes. And what they're going to do is, if you have a 7610 or you have a Yaesu 891A, they're going to make it so that the user interface looks just like the radio. So you can see when I'm doing FT8 here. Let me get that off the screen so you can see what I'm pointing out. This is the rig control, bottom right here. All right, this window right here. And it has everything that your radio can do listed on it. Even has both VFOs listed, but it doesn't look like your radio. So if it looked exactly like my radio, I wouldn't even have to think about where to go to tap on what to do something. If I want to add a filter, I want to take away a filter, change from digital to just SSB, I can do that because it's much, much easier to see and to understand. That's why they're doing it. That's why they're in the process of modifying the program so that anybody's radio, whatever radio you're using, it's going to look like your radio on there, which is a great way to do it if you ask me. I think that's a great idea. All right, so SO50, we're giving up on that. PO101 is up right now, but it's only going to be 6 degrees. XW2B is coming up. That's only going to be a 6-degree pass. I'm sorry. No, XW2B is going to be a 9-degree pass. The ISS is coming up at 7:36. I'll be on another stream when that's happening, so I won't be streaming that live. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We had a little conversation. You got to see some cool stuff that my brother-in-law sent me. His dad used to have a tower in his backyard like I got, but on top of his, he had what is it? I think he had like a 6-meter Yagi up there, a 3-element 6-meter antenna. I don't understand why people are so into 6 meters, because to me, 6 meters is rare. They call it the magic band for a reason, because it's like magic when it does work. You know, I'd much rather have a 10-meter, 40, 80 meters probably really good. I would love to have a 17-meter Yagi up there, but hey, what can I tell you? There's all kinds of ways we could do that. But that ain't, I don't have that right now. I don't have the money for that. Plus, I got my satellite antennas on top of the tower. I'm not taking them down. What I may do, I have a 41-foot mast that's also still connected to the house. It's just a push-up pole. I might stick I might just put a hex beam on there. Possible. Or I might go out and buy a DX Commander and put that in the backyard too. I got plenty of room to do it. I just hate having to run all those radials. Ugh. Because they're going to get in the way. I know they are. I'm going to suck them up in the lawnmower one day. That's not going to be a fun picture. Anyway, boys, we're going to cut this one a little bit short. We've been on for about 46 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed the little chat we had. Next week, if you ever have a project you're working on and you want to get on here live and spread the word about what you're doing, get in touch with me. Make sure you check the notes in all my videos. I have multiple discounts available in many different places. And I got a new one called Blue Eddy. Blue Eddy makes power boxes, inverters, and battery boxes. And you want to take a look at that, because they actually have one. It's big. It's about that wide, that high, about square, 10 inches square and about 24 inches long. Pretty nice battery box, but it's made to power your house, and you can stack them, and they work in parallel with each other. So it gives you more and more capacity to store electricity. Look into that. You might be interested. Look in the notes. You'll see the link to Blue Eddy. You'll also see the link to SLNT. That is all set up now. They make Faraday bags. You want to put your radio or computer in a bag to protect it against an EMP attack. These will do it. So check that out. And also EMP Shield, if you want to protect your house from an EMP attack. There's a great unit on there. I have it on my house, as a matter of fact. Piece of cake to put in, just 4 wires. And I'm working on getting I got to give him another call. I'm working on getting a discount code or a coupon for a soft start for your AC, and I will keep you posted on that, how that's going. These things take time. It takes a bunch of phone calls, a bunch of emails back and forth, checking, and then once they approve you, now you got to go through the process of getting the links and all that to post them in places. So take advantage of those things. You make a discount and you help the channel out when you buy anything off my affiliate links. ko4pdi.com. You can find a link to my Amazon store there. Make sure you check that out. There's also a link to Amazon store in the show notes on this and other live streams that I do. So check it out. Make use of it. Get discounts. I do. I buy stuff all the time. Mike, K8MRD, must have made a fortune from me. He was here last week. Did you watch our show last week? Mike did a great job telling us about how to tune a multi-linked end-fed antenna. Great idea. No, I haven't done it yet, Mike. Give me time. A million things going on. I got a bunch of different projects happening, and I got to work on this antenna for the satellites and see what's going on up there and why I'm having an issue with it. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. In the meantime, remember what I always say. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, at least not without me, all right? And all I can say at that point is God bless you all. God bless Donald Trump and the United States of America. Yeah, America, baby. Take care, everybody. God bless.